There was an inlay of timber inside the walnut, and it was the first time that Rolls-Royce had used an Australian timber.
Here we are on a bright sunny morning down at the Oaks with President Brian Crump. How are you, Brian?
Morning, Vince. How are you?
Very
Beautiful
well.
day.
It is, isn't it?
Absolutely spectacular.
We've got a spectacular car here too. What is this beautiful Rolls-Royce?
It's a 1993 Silver Spirit 2.
Wow. And the colour is just scintillating. What is it?
The colour is dark oyster.
Dark oyster.
So every time you eat an oyster shell, you look at the dark section, and that's what the car's
Oh,
actually
goodness
coloured
me.
after or named after.
And what about the interior?
Well, let's open it up and have a look, Vince.
It's just awesome.
So we'll start with the front compartment.
Wow, just look at this. Sumptuous interior. Common leather all round. Plenty of legroom. And just look at the detail here. The woodwork is just magnificent. Very smart looking dash. 110,000 on the clock, Brian?
Yes. Yeah, it's only basically run in now.
Goodness me.
So some of the features, it's got the extra wood panelling on the inside of the doors. And if you have a look on the dashboard, you'll notice there is an inlay of timber inside the walnut, and that's an Australian timber. And it was the first time that Rolls-Royce had used an Australian timber in the wood in their cars.
Wow. Very special.
Wilton carpets in wool. The seats, of course, are fully electric. They're leather, oatmeal in colour, and the carpets are Portland stone in colour. One of the things I like about the car is that the VIN number is also written on the back of each piece of carpet, so that we know we've got the original carpet.
Wow. Oh, very good. Very good indeed. So much space, so much luxury.
But when we move to the back, we've got the lamb's wool overlays, we've got the little footrests.
We've also got lots and lots of room.
And we've got the fold up and fold down picnic tables for the days you go to the races or you need a cup of tea on the way.
Wow, look at the work in there. Beautiful, isn't it? That's just beautiful. What year did you say this was?
1993.
93. It looks brand new.
Well, we've had it for 13 years now, Vince, and it gets used regularly. It's not a garage queen. It gets used regularly, and it's a fun car to drive, actually.
It's just in such good condition. It's beautiful.
I think one of the things I do like about it is that all of the chrome pieces are all heavily chromed brass.
Right.
So there's no plastic.
It's all the good stuff.
It's all the good stuff, yep.
Very nice. Running on 15s.
Yes. The hand-painted coach line, which of course has long been a feature of Rolls-Royce cars. It is still a feature today. And it's drawn in a single pass by a craftsman with a camel hair brush.
What a steady hand he must have.
Extraordinarily steady, isn't it?
Excellent. A huge boot.
A huge boot, and it's got lots of stuff in it.
Wow. Yeah, it's a working boot.
It's a working boot because it's a working car. And no, they're not run flats. There's a real full-sized spare underneath that.
Oh, okay. Good.
Which is sensible in Australia.
Yes, fair enough. It's quite a long vehicle too, isn't it?
5.3, I think. 5.2, 5.3.
Right.
It is the short wheelbase version, of course. The long wheelbase version is the Spur. It's got nice little touches like the headlamp washers that you can see here.
Oh, yes.
And I'm not normally into personalised number plates, but I couldn't resist the temptation to have RRM1 because when Rolls-Royce released the Silver Spirit, that was the number plate they used.
Oh, congratulations.
So I thought it's worth having,
Yes.
just in the sense of it recreates that sense of history.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It looks magnificent. It's quite an imposing stance, I feel.
And yet it's very easy to drive on the freeway.
Oh, I'm sure.
The suspension is fully hydraulic. It's computer controlled. So the harder you drive it, the firmer the suspension becomes. The more you turn the wheel, the firmer the suspension becomes. And that's the active suspension that came in with the Spirit 2, and it actually does work.
Excellent. And what about Concours, Brian? Have you entered this in Concours before?
It's been in Concours a few times and it's done extremely well, but not this year because being president I shouldn't enter in the Concours.
I see.
But let me show you the engine bay.
Yes, please.
It's a development of the same V8 engine that Rolls-Royce used from the late 1950s onwards. It's now grown to 6.7 litres, and it's a very, very lazy high torque engine which runs through a 4-speed automatic gearbox.
The engine bay is remarkably clean, Brian. Well done.
Got a little bit of a dusting down yesterday.
Oh, I
it
see.
stays clean though, it doesn't dribble any oil, which is nice.
And what about maintenance?
Well, maintenance is basically just annual servicing at Paradise Garage. Being a Rolls-Royce, nothing ever goes wrong with it, Vince. You would know that.
Indeed.
It's like a Mercedes-Benz.
Very good. Well, again, magnificent all round. Brian, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to see such a beautiful vehicle. And I hope you have many more years of happy driving.
Vince, thank you very much indeed.